Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So Marcille is actually kind of dominating in regular arena as well. So today's video will be a regular arena showcase of Marcille. So my guild leader has figured out a way of kind of reliably beating my pretty pay to win arena defense using Marcille. And we're going to break down this replay. But basically we have the same heroes on both sides, but rather than Ravion on my team, he has Marcille. And Marcille does a lot of work in this fight, and he has of course Enlightening Spell onto Marcille for that additional basically attack speed buff to power up further. So you're gonna see over here what happens at the beginning is Marcille is gonna be immediately chanting, and then she's gonna start dealing pretty high damage to my team, as well as all the other utility that she has, like the blinds and things. Both of our sides have Dunlingers, so Marcille will not even be able to get off her ultimate, but her damage is still the highest of the damage on the team. So you're going to see right here, my team is getting pretty low. And there is going to be a burst. Okay, so there's an explosion right over there. Green side is my guild leader, of course, with the Marcille. And Athalia is going to jump onto Marcille. But the thing is, that protection of Aliceth onto Marcille basically gives her that another life. And that is exactly what Marcille needs. Because otherwise, Athalia is going to counter Marcille. And so Marcille's still healthy, and obviously his team has a sizable advantage. My Ravion's already dead on my side, and the rest of my team is about to fall. So Marcille actually gets off an ultimate with her Skyfish, and if she can get off an ultimate, like waiting out the Dunlinger bell duration, then is basically good game at that point, because her damage is now going to be high. It's going to clean up everything, and then all that's going to be left on my team is Saida and Athalia, but of course that cannot deal with a full 5-man team, right? We're not going to, because they have Saida, Athalia of their own. And so finally, the Athalia is going to take down Marcille. This will always happen. No matter how much protection you have for Marcille, eventually she is going to go down because Athalia just is that counter to Marcille. However, Marcille has done more than enough work to give her team the edge, and now her team is going to win. So this is really interesting, honestly. Obviously, this is with the highest of the pay-to-win spectrum. However, if Marcille is working even at the highest pay-to-win level, that is also saying something, right? And when we talk about the earlier level, like for example, if you're not facing Dunlingers, all of these pay-to-win teams, I'm going to show you, for example, we have a rank 8 player. Obviously, he's low on Paragon. So what I'm going to do to make it fair is I'm only going to run 3 of my Paragon 4 heroes, because in total he has a combined Paragon level of 12, right? Because if you add up all of his Paragon levels, and I'm also going to do 12 by having only 3 of my Paragon 4 heroes. Obviously, this isn't a completely fair test, because having Paragon 4 on your damage hero like Marcille is going to give some damage boost and things like that. But like in terms of inspiration, intimidation is pretty much matched. And I'm just going to throw in another Supreme Plus hero like Kafra here, just to get some faction advantage. They have a full 5-man advantage, but we at least will have a 3-man. Okay, so we're going to obviously run Enlightening Spell to further buff up Marcille. Now, in this comp, we have Thador buffing Marcille, Enlightening Spell buffing Marcille, and Ravion buffing Marcille, which is the 3 buffs needed. And you're going to see that even when you run a team like this, it is going to be deadly. So, Marcille, especially when she gets off an ultimate, she's going to get off her ultimate right now, and she's going to begin nuking the enemy team. So, Marcille might go down. We have 1 lifesaver shield, but did we do enough damage to actually clean up here? We do. Okay, so this is an example, even basically a 3-man team. We were down faction advantage, but you still saw the damage nuking potential of Marcille. And of course, if you're actually facing an actual opponent, I'm going to show you some team comps that you should run, so we can go ahead and try to find a high rank opponent. Unfortunately, okay, this is going to be all Paragon 4, and I've done some testing against Lazy. So basically, this is a full Paragon 4 team. Obviously, not the most pay to win. It doesn't have a Dunlinger and things like that, but we're going to also run our full 4-man team, just using regular faction heroes and Marcille. And this is really one of my dream comps. Honestly speaking, I think this is a really strong comp. Thador, Ravion, Marcille, Velka to further buff up Marcille. So we're going to go ahead and run this team. I think Aliceth would also be a really good option in a team like this to maybe replace Velka or Lily May, but I'm just gonna go ahead and show you this team. So it is going to be pretty even on Paragon right here. Now the question will be, so Marcille is nuking right now. We get a lifesaver shield from Ravion, and we're going to interrupt the Athalia, which is perfect. That's going to give some more survival for Marcille. She's still going to be able to deal her damage, and we are going to clean it up. So here in this team, Lily May was pretty important because what would have happened here is Athalia was about to ult and then obviously going to target Marcille, and Marcille would have been then being killed. Because with Ravion, you get one protection of Marcille, but if you had Ravion plus Aliceth, you have two potential additional lives of Marcille, and that's really important. As you guys see here, Athalia is the worst nemesis of Marcille, so you have to plan around that in whatever team you're running. But definitely this shows you with regular faction heroes that you can still put together a very strong team, even without Aliceth. But Aliceth would also be a good option as well. So we have a rank 4 player. We can see what he's running. We can try to experiment with something. So he's also almost all Paragon 4. He does have the Athalia. So again, Ravion is going to be good with the Marcille. So let's say we don't want to run Velka. What could be another option here? We could run a hero like Callan. I want to try Callan in a team like this rather than Velka. So we don't have that attack speed buff from Velka, but we're going to have maybe additional protection. One issue is Athalia can bypass shields anyway, and Athalia is going to come right for your Marcille. Athalia just really goes right after Marcille, which is the problem. So like even Daimon and things like that, it's not really going to help. But we're going to try Callan. Let's see what happens here. We're going to see what happens in a team like this. So Callan going to provide some shielding. Marcille is a bit healthier compared to before. Okay, she took the Athalia hit pretty well, and we didn't even have to pop the Lifesaver Shield of Ravion yet. And again, Lily May going to interrupt the Athalia so she cannot ultimate Marcille. Now the Lifesaver Shield is going to pop, and now Marcille is going to go down to the Athalia. But we just clean it up from this point. So yeah, this is the thing. The Athalias in Arena are going to give Marcille a bit of a problem. Even with Ravion's support, eventually the Marcille is going to go down because Athalia is just going to keep nuking her, and Marcille doesn't have any survival of her own. But basically, this just shows you the different interesting comps here. So let's go ahead and actually go back to this team. And I'm interested, how about we go for rather than Lily May? But Lily May is so good because she interrupts the Athalia. But I'm thinking if we go, I definitely want to try Aliceth here. And Aliceth buffing up the Marcille. You know, like just in terms of a buffer, Leica is not bad because attack speed is going to scale on the Marcille, right? Attack speed and haste both scale well for her for a chanting speed. However, the problem is your survival is going to be in question. Like Lily May also provides that protection by interrupting the Athalia. So definitely Lily May seems like the more reasonable option. We're going to go for... Yeah, we're going to go for this position. We can have Lily May off to the side over there. And now you're going to see with the added protection of Marcille, things are going to be looking even better, basically, for the team. Yeah, so we're going to see this one in action. Okay, so Marcille is at 50% health. She's channeling her ultimate. And I think she just took... I think Aliceth wings just procced. Whoa, that was just a very convincing win. Also, the thing about Aliceth is Aliceth can counter potentially well, not Saida, but she can counter Igor, and Igor usually has that synergy with Athalia. So if people are running Igor Athalia, Aliceth can, like, you know, insta-kill the Igor and also protect the Marcille. So basically, they're really good allies, Aliceth and Marcille. Okay, guys, so we found my guild leader, and he is running a very intimidating comp, honestly. This is basically what he's been using to clear my pay-to-win team on defense, and I think this is very strong. Like, you have, you know, the added protection of Aliceth onto Marcille, you have the buff of Dunlinger onto Marcille and Lightning Spell, you have still the same really powerful core for pay-to-win comps, Dunlinger, Saida, Athalia, and like, if I face into a team like this, I'm still gonna have to run Dunlinger, because the problem is, Marcille casts her ultimate really quick into the match, and like, she has an Aliceth protection, so if I don't run Dunlinger, I'm just asking for Marcille to blow up my team. So really, when you look at a team like this, I just don't know how you're going to actually try and counter it, like, because if you don't run Dunlinger, Saida, Athalia of your own, you're gonna struggle, and if we just copy those three heroes, and we want to run Marcille of our own as well, then it's just leaving one final slot, which is either going to be Aliceth or it can be Ravion. And overall, Aliceth should be better than Ravion, but actually, you know what I'm going to try here? I am going to try, we're just going to do a mirror match, but we're not going to use Aliceth, we're going to use Ravion instead. And, I mean, this may be crazy, however, Ravion does provide, like, the buffs for the team, which are overall going to be also value. We don't have the Aliceth buff, but I mean, this is still going to be strong. And I want to give the attack buff of Ravion. onto Marcille, and I want to give it, I guess, onto Athalia. So I guess we're gonna go for this type of position. Is there anything else we could optimize? Trying to give the shield to the back line rather than the front line. I mean, could it be better? I don't exactly know. The problem here is they're gonna run right after my Saida, which I don't really want. We're gonna try like this. So we're basically mirror matching, but we're running Ravion, he's running Aliceth. Other than that, I'm gonna have to do more experimentation to figure out, is there a way to counter this? But honestly, this is really strong. So let's see what happens. So far, so good. We're healthy. And, okay, no, there's a burst of damage onto our side. And my Marcille goes down before his. Ravion, because the problem was my Ravion died. And then he can't protect Marcille with the lifesaver shield. So even though we do eventually get the Marcille, it's too late, right? Because they still have their Aliceth up. And so they're going to have the higher firepower and damage output. And we can't really compete with it. They still have the Dunlinger. We do kill the Aliceth. But basically, it's just going to be Saida versus Saida. And, well, could we actually do it here? Well, okay, we actually won, but this is just like troll at this point. Like, honestly, it's really the Aliceth seems to be the better option with Marcille. Even though our Marcille did higher damage because of the Ravion buff. But basically, Ravion or Aliceth are kind of essential to have with Marcille if you're running her in regular arena. As a recap, and because when you're facing an enemy Athalia, you need those additional lives. Ravion is really good because he also provides an attack buff to Marcille to allow her to hit harder, but Aliceth provides overall better protection for the Marcille. Dunlinger also very good, and overall, this is just exciting basically of Marcille. Feel free to let me know what type of Marcille formations you're running in arena if you are using her, and even Pandora comps can work really well with Marcille. Having her come out of the box with that boosted attack and immediately casting her ultimate definitely can be a strong option against non-Dunlingers. But that is basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video. Also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Firelight store. There is a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.